Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Chris Huckes, and this is your best life defined. So, here's a question for you: Would you want to be you? All right, let's just settle in for a minute here. Let's pretend that you're at a party or some social function, and you were standing over by the bar, and you meander over, and you start kicking it with you. Having a conversation with yourself, and you're like, but you're on the outside. You're looking at you, and you're at the party, and you're like, you have a conversation for about 30 minutes, and you start telling your story, and you look the way you look, and you act the way you act. Would you want to be you? What would you think about being you? That's kind of a weird scenario, but really when you think about the life you live, the things you do every day, that's really what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. What do you think about you when you take a look at your successes and your strengths and your weaknesses and where you're headed? Would you want to be you if you weren't? Kind of a weird concept, but if you wouldn't roll up and look at you hanging out and say, man, I want to be that guy, I want to be that gal, then maybe you're not living your best life. If you wouldn't roll up on you and go, wow, man, they're having so much fun, they got such a great relationship, maybe there's some truth to what I'm saying. Maybe there's something about this story I keep telling, I keep repeating myself, that maybe there's something you can do to be a better you. Maybe there's something you can do to become more connected to who you are and to access more of the things that you love to do. See, it doesn't really come across with me because I've spent a lot of time talking, and I don't really care much about my personality, because the personality I want to show is a little bit of irritation. So when you see me on video or you listen to these podcasts, you might say, well, he's not very friendly. Well, that's probably because I'm frustrated. Because I look at a lot of people and I see these people, and if they were to see themselves at a party or they were to meet themselves in life somewhere, they're not meeting themselves and going, wow, I want to be him or her. They're saying, wow. They would say, wow. Is that the response you get? What do you think people think of you? Are they inspired by you? Are they energized? Do you generate energy and excitement in their life? Are the kind of example that they want to teach their kids about? Are you the kind of person where they say, yeah, he's got it together, he's doing what he's doing? And even what's really ironic about that is, even if you walk up on you at that party and you're like, hey dude, what's up? And you are the coolest guy there, that doesn't necessarily mean you're living your best life. Because if you're the coolest guy there based on some standard that's been set for you and doesn't have anything to do with who you are, sure, you're a mime, you're good at mimicking the standards and the rules that are set for you, but does that mean you're enjoying it and capturing the most of your life that you can? Are you is it adding value to your life? So what if you have the big ass house, a fancy ass car, you have the big corporate title and the fancy suits, and you walk around and everybody's kissing your butt? That in itself doesn't mean that you're living your best life. All that means is you've been able to capture the standard that's been set for you by these social norms that we expect people that drive fancy cars and to have fancy houses to be successful. That's their success. They're happy. Don't think so. If people who have money and fame and fortune are happy, then why do people commit suicide who have all those things? See, the problem that we have is, and even with me, the problem that I have is, as I continue to gain success in what I do and I continue to capture the things I love to do, there's always this revamping, this reconnection with who I am, because it is so easy to get off track. It was so easy and if you go back and listen to these early podcasts, what you're going to find is there's this overwhelming desire to make you happy by me. I can't do that. I can't make you happy with my words. And when I started making me happy, when I started doing things based on who I am and what I believe and what energizes me, that's when the truth comes out, and that's when the true me comes out. If I'm not smiling enough for you, go watch Saturday Night Live. You're not ready for this. If I'm not entertaining enough, because I have like 8 or 9 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I get it. I'm not Stephen Colbert. I am not an entertainer. I'm a old guy, because I'm 50. I'll be 59 this year, so I look at myself. I'm an older guy. I'm average looking. I'm not very interesting. I'm not very funny, and all I keep telling you is, hey, listen, your life sucks. Is there any wonder you're going to say, oh man, that guy sucks, I don't want to watch him? Of course you don't. Because if you take anything I say and you put it to use, or you apply it in your own life and you make that actual comparison, it puts you in a position to where you have to take action. It puts you in a position to where you have to ask yourself some tough questions about the choices you're making. That's why it all comes back to, if you met you at a party, you met you at a picnic table, how impressed would you be with you? Because I'm going to tell you right now, my bet is the story is going to be the same as everyone else at that party. Oh yeah, I'm working hard. Yeah, I'm gonna, a lot of I'm gonnas as the drinks flow. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, got me a new truck, got me a new house. How much of that time, how much of that conversation encompasses things that are truly exciting to you? Oh man, if I could do anything in life, I would scuba dive. In fact, we sold everything. We bought a sailboat. We're getting ready to head out next week because we realize that the water is where our energy comes from. We realize that it doesn't matter what you own, because when you die, it's all gone. See, when I first started these podcasts, I was trying to change me. I was trying to change me to fit what you need. I like me. I would be impressed with me. I would be impressed with me if I met me at a party. Now, you might not be, and that's fine. That's okay, because the thing that I'm living is for me, ultimately. I'm doing this for me. I'm great. Been through a lot of struggles. I know how to fight. I know how to achieve goals. I mean, my son and I were talking. We talk about our goals a lot. We talk about what value is and the direction we should be headed. And our family's unique in that we keep each other in check. And when one of us, and it's global. It's not just me telling my kids what's going on and the mistakes they're making. My kids have pulled me up and said, Dad, your priorities are screwed up. You're headed in the wrong direction. You need to realign yourself with your values. And that's cool, because what happens is we get to learn and understand each other at levels that most families never have access to. And it's all based on this idea that we can do better. That no matter where you are in your life, there is one choice that will bring you to a better level, to a better plateau in any given area of your life. And that's where it's at. And hell yeah, I want to be me. I'd want to be me. Gee, I've done a lot. I've learned a lot. Does it mean it was all good? No, hell no, it wasn't all good, but it's getting better every day. See, I don't know if maybe the urgency in what I'm telling you is because I might be running out of time. I don't have any guarantee that this story is going to get told before I die, because I could die today. And if I died today, I would look back at my life and I would say, you know what? Bam. Yeah, I'm good with that. In fact, on the record, so when my kids look at the final podcast and they get through it and they're nostalgic and they're listening to my voice at the funeral and all the noise I've made and they're going through the videos and say, well, he made more podcasts than anyone else. Somewhere in there, they're going to find peace in knowing that I am being my best self right now. I am working hard at being my best self. Does that mean it's perfect? Nope. But I would definitely want to be me. Back to you. If you met yourself at a party and you heard your story and you heard what you were doing and what you're doing and you knew some things about you, would you really say, wow? If you can't say that, you're not living your best life. If you can't say, yeah, that's who I want to be, that's where I'm going with my life, that's what I'd like to see in my life. And there's a chance that if your gauge is wrong, if you're gauging it on the standard you've been handed, and that is the American dream and all the bullshit we've been given about how great it is to buy a house and how debt is okay, there's not a chance in hell you're ever going to get to be your best self. It's just not going to happen. If your energy comes from debt, comes from not being able to make choices because either your time or your money or both are gone, how do you live your best life? Now, there's ways to get started on that. There are ways to get started. If you wanted to live your best life and you're swimming in debt right now, you want to do it? Throw your shoes on, grab your partner, and every day at the same time go for a walk. Go for a walk and start talking about dreams. Don't talk about what you have and your obligations and all the things that are wrong with your life. Grab your partner and go for a walk. Start talking about all the possibilities. I said in the previous podcast, you could become the world champion cornholio player. You know, that game where you throw beanbags in a hole. You usually see it out at the lake or at the RV parks. Yeah. You could be anything. You could add value and start living your best life just by changing something about your life that you do now, adding something to your life that you didn't do previously. When I think about one of the most significant elements of my life, it was the day I started walking with my wife. That changed the whole story. Because for the first 3 months, it was about me listening, trying to understand her, reconnecting with her. And over time, you know what? I fell back in love with her, and she became interesting again, and she was exciting, and she was energized. And all of a sudden, what used to be topics of conversation that ended in arguments became topics of conversation that ended in excitement. It was cool for her to be like, hey, you know what I was thinking? And I'm like, really? And she's like, oh, yeah. And she's just going on and on about this thing. And for the first time in a long time, I'm like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. One of the things my wife hates is I'll say, well, we'll see. Well, in her mind, when I say we'll see, that means we're not going to do it, but I don't have the balls to tell her we're not going to do it. Well, not really. What it means now is, all right, I'm going to put that on the back burner and we're going to look at that. I mean, we talked about kayaks for 2 years before we ever bought them. And it's because instead of making those purchases based off of our desire to be happy, instead of making those purchases based off of the standard that is set for us, that is the American dream, the reason we hold back and we wait and we think about the things we need to do and whether it's the right choice for us is because we need to make sure that choice fits who we are. We need to make sure we haven't been tricked into some idea that isn't actually our own. I think Sandy, when she looks at herself today, she's excited. She's energized. She definitely would want to be her. And it just keeps growing from there, and that's the point I'm making. You're going to survive without me. You will continue to do the things you're doing, and maybe you're just simply not ready for this. I hope you are. I hope you're ready for you to take a look at your life and ask yourself one question. Why am I spending more time working than I am playing? Why aren't I fishing as much as I want? Why aren't I mountain biking as much as I want? Why do we have to limit our life to 2 vacations a year? And even those vacations feel like a ball-busting trip. It's just one thing after. Hurry up, get it set up. We got to be here. We got to be there. Sometimes the most amazing moments that we can have in life don't involve a hurry up, don't involve some amazing adventure, some amazing goal like being a doctor or being a lawyer. The most amazing experiences are just simple ones, like floating along in a kayak, looking into the water and seeing things you haven't ever seen, or sitting down and just listening to a story, or maybe sitting down silent with the person you love and remembering or seeing that person, seeing who they've always been in their eyes. Because that's kind of interesting. Sandy and I are both getting older, and we're still pretty physically active, but our physical features are changing. And you're going to see it over the course of these podcasts and the videos. But it's funny. No matter how old we get, or my wife gets, and how things change, when I look at her eyes, those are the same eyes I see when she was 16 and when she was 17, say 18. And that's the cool part about it. So, I don't know, a little off track there, but I don't think I'm going to quit. I'm not giving up on you. Change the gauge. Instead of gauging it based on what you see on TV and these standards and these ideas that it matters what other people think of your life, turn it inward. Ask yourself an honest question. What do I think of my life? What do I think of the things I'm doing? That's where it starts. Because then maybe it'll be okay to not have that fancy house. Maybe it'll be okay to downsize to something that's more reasonable, because you've decided that having those resources of time and money that big house consumes, and you take those resources and you put into something that has more value to you. Maybe you do need kayaks. Maybe you deserve, or maybe you should actually consider moving to some place that's warmer because you love the water. You want to go deep sea fishing. You want to learn to scuba dive. You want to snorkel over coral beds on the Florida Keys. The reality is, it's all going to end the same way. All your stuff is going to disappear the day you die. All your money is going to be of no value. And the only thing that matters is what we do right now. The only thing that matters is the experiences we have and the value we place in those experiences. And if you're waking up and you're not having fun, you're not excited about something in your life, maybe it's time for you to change something. Maybe it's time for you to turn yourself into the person you would want to be. Next time you're hanging out, imagine yourself at a party and you walk up to you. Would you want to be you? That's kind of sick in a way. I mean, it kind of puts it out there, but I can't do it any other way. This is the best it gets until it gets better. If you want to be entertained, like I said, go watch cartoons, or maybe if you're looking for entertainment, you're not ready for this. This is for people who are actually looking at their life from the standpoint of, why am I doing the things I'm doing? How can I get more of the fun out of my life? How can I spend more time being energized and excited about my life? And that's what this whole story is about. Are you living your best life? The best way to do that is to start by defining what your best life is. And that doesn't come from what you see on TV or on the screen, or the ideas you have about the people around you and what they think of you. Defining your best life is about looking at yourself and finding those things within yourself that provide energy and excitement and value. And then going after those things, regardless of what anyone thinks. Because I guarantee you, if you choose to be different than any one of your friends and neighbors, they are going to tell you you're crazy. That's crazy. Just like they told me. But I don't know. I'm not doing too bad considering. So, just something to think about. It. I really appreciate the support. I appreciate the comments. I get a few likes here and there. My YouTube channel is going slow. The podcast is growing. I'm starting to get a decent audience, and I really appreciate you guys who sit and continue to listen to me. I'm not going to apologize for not being exciting or maybe energizing. Everything I do is off the cuff, and I speak from the heart. I have a desire. I have this goal in my life that someday someone's going to say to me, right when I need it, they're going to say, you know what, Chris, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for taking the time to draw me back into myself and to turn my focus in on me, because of that, I am actually living my best life. I wake up excited about some portion of my life. I wake up excited about where I'm going and the things ahead. And I'm not just grinding it out, doing it just like everyone else because it's the easy path or it's the path we've inherited. Do that. That's a dream. So, anyway, I won't keep you. I hope I haven't wasted your time, but sometimes it feels like I do. And just remember, as always, today's your day. Make it a good one.